Welcome back to a new one, and on this one we need to run a Vue instance to create a Vue instance. And right now we have this tiny little template, and we just did the including of the script of Vue global. Now, of course, we need to run this on our browser. So if you go to the project, to this project, let me just go there. There you go. That's the index.html. I'm going to double click it and then it will open right here on your browser. You need to do right click and then go to inspect right here at the bottom. And right here, if you go to the console, you will get a message from vue.global. So it means that Vue is running on our index.html, which is in this case our project. So, at least it's just working. But now we need to start a Vue instance. Now, by default, Vue will work on a very special place called ID app. So yeah, by convention, we need to place it or to instruct Vue to work inside of something. And the convention is the ID and then app. You can call this cat, you can call this dog, you can call this whatever you want. It's completely up to you. The convention, it's app. And then at the bottom, we just need to start an instance of Vue. And we need to bring the script and open and close. Gonna make some space. And then we need to bring const. We need to create a const and bring it from Vue. And I'm gonna close it like this. We can use the structuring. And what we need from Vue, it's gonna be the create app method. Create and then app. So this will create an instance of Vue, and we need to allocate it on some place, which is going to be this div. So at the bottom, we need to specify. We need to use this method called create app, open and close. And inside, we need to use some instructions. And then dot, and we need to use the mount. And right here is where we specify where we want to mount it. It is going to be on the ID we called app. Remember again, if you called this one cat, this one needs to be called cat. If not, it will not work. I'm going to go back to the app example. The next important part is going to be how to use Vue, right? And all this happens inside of a property called setup that we need to create inside the create app. So I'm going to break it into maybe multiple lines, and I'm going to go right here, and we need to create this method called setup, just like that, and then open and close, and then open and close. That's it. And I'm going to be closing, just make no space. Now, inside the setup is where we create the Vue code or the Vue logic. And right here, we can just create whatever we want. Let's say I want to create that hello world type of example, the classic hello world. Well, we are going to need some strings, string, and I'm going to create a variable called greetings. And then this one is going to be equal to, and then, I don't know, hello, and then world. I know it's not the best example. It's the classic one. And then the bottom, if you want to export it and you want to use it within the template, you need to return it in this case. So it's going to be return, open and close, and we just return whatever is that we want to use right here inside. To output something and how Vue works is going to be by doing double curly braces. So if I want to go to the P or just create a paragraph and then output that greeting, I need to do double curly braces. And then inside, I need to make a mention of whatever is that we are returning. In this case, it's going to be greetings. So I'm going to go copy and paste. If I go to the application and run it, we should be getting the hello world right there at the top. And, and we do get it. Now make sure that you save your project, and again we get it. Make it just a little bit bigger, and we get the hello world. So it's outputting whatever is that we want right here. Always remember to return something from your setup. If not, it will not be available within your app. I'm going a little bit slow because we are starting with this as we advanced through the different sections and the different modules. I'm going to go a little bit faster and it will get a little bit more challenging, but you will also know a lot more. So how does this, all of this work? When the application runs in the browser, the first page is going to render. And you get the div, the app, and the paragraph, and then nothing inside. And this is the first render of Vue JS, the first time it loads. Now, Vue then is going to copy and remove whatever we have inside this tiny little portion. And then once it removes it, it's going to store it in a template in memory. Again, still we don't see it. It's going to read it. It's going to replace the code with our instructions that, it's a memory. And it will render back the latest version or whatever is that we are telling Vue to do. And then after the first render, we're going to get the version that we want. Now, in conclusion, which is what I want you to understand and to learn, is that on the first time that it renders, the whatever is that you're trying to do, it's not really there. Then when, the code gets processed, it's going to re-render and you will get the information that you want, which is, the version of your app. Inside the setup, you can write whatever it is that you want, because right here you are just doing JavaScript. It's just very common JavaScript. I'm gonna create a const, maybe called is true or something like that, and this can be a boolean, so maybe it's gonna be false. Then remember, if we want to use it, we need to export it or to return it from the setup function. And then I'm going to go at the top and just use it. And again, this is JavaScript. We just need to use a logical operator to check if that statement is true or not. I'm going to say is it and then true. And then if I open and close, remember everything is on double curly braces. I'm going to ask, is it true? And I'm going to use ternary. If it's true, it's going to be yes. And if it's not, it's going to be, and then it's going to be no, of course. Now, if I run this, I'm going to go here and just run it. And now we get no because the statement it's false. But if I change it to true and save it and go back, it's going to be yes. Again, just very simple JavaScript code. Again, what happens if we do an array or maybe an object? It works the same way. The only difference is that you need to export it. I'm going to say const and then maybe array. And then this one, it's equal to a couple of name. I'm going to say Francis, and maybe I'm going to say, I don't know, Jane. Why not? What happens if we have an object? How can we access an object? Again, const. I'm going to call it obj. You can call this whatever you want. I'm going to do car, then equals to, and then, I don't know, some brand. I'm going to copy because, again, remember, if you want to use it, you need to return it. You need to export it. So now we have this. I'm going to go at the top and we want to use it. I'm going to do P and I want to print some name that we have on the array. Well, it's going to be open, open, close, close. And we call that array, which is the name of our variable. And then, the location or the position on the array, which is going to be 0. I'm going to be outputting Francis. Why not? And if I go back to our template and just reload, it's going to be Francis. What with the object? I'm going to go here at the bottom. There we go, a p tag, and I'm going to open and close, and we need to make a mention to the obj, which is the object, and then dot and whatever key that we want to output. In this case, is going to be, car, just like that. And if we reload the application, we get the brand. What if we want to output or maybe to do some, more processing right here by using maybe a function or maybe a variable that uses a function? Let's say that on the greetings, I don't want to say this. I want to run maybe some string, and I want to do some JavaScript. So hello, and then guys, and I'm going to say comma today is, and then we want to print something with JavaScript. So I'm going to say today is, and I'm going to be using new and then date. Why not? And then open and close, and we're going to use the toLocalString. There we go, right here, toLocalString to print the date. And if I save it, we are going to be getting hello guys and then the date. So like I said before, when we work with Vue JS, it's just very common JavaScript. It's not something super special or, something really weird that we need to learn. But we do everything inside the setup. And when you do it, you need to export it or return it in this case. Maybe this looks a little bit messy. What we can do on top, maybe create a new property called date, stuff like that. And then just copy whatever it is that we have right here, just chop it, and I'm going to be pasting it. And then instead of doing that, I can maybe call or just use whatever other property that we create right here. In this case, it's going to be date. And of course, we will get the same result. We can use properties within properties and then return just one single property. Okay, so we are done in this section. Now, in conclusion, we create an instance, we mount it on whatever ID, we create a setup, and then we can use common JavaScript within the setup, and then we return whatever that we want to do to print it within the double curly braces. Now, what happens if we have, something like a function right here, or maybe a different method within the setup? How can we use it within the template? Let's go to the next one and talk about methods and functions.